All right, it is Sunday, March 6th. Local swell trackers, we're starting off with some hindcasting going back to the end of February, the 29th, this wide fetch. Oh my God, February was amazing. And this batch of winds right here that got nearly on top of us kicked off March with 20-foot waves and then peaked at 25 plus due to the proximity. These were just whomper swells. You know, we had that backup right here. See this guy? That's our nice west that we saw today. It actually filled in Saturday from the west-northwest. Much nicer conditions, more manageable, but it still got too big for most spots, up to near warning levels of 15 feet, most of it being 12 plus. And bringing the models to today, actually showing Monday, the fetch is weakening here, fades off up into the Gulf, brings plenty of waves for, well, the Gulf and for the west coast. Then on its northwest flank, we have another long, wide fetch. There's a high pressure that's moving in, a big, strong high pressure that's going to be building our trades up Wednesday, Thursday, Friday to 15 to 30-ish, with finally seeing some bigger trade wind swells probably peaking later in the week up 2 to 4 plus. And advisories and small craft will all be posted. It's also bounced the jet stream way north, and it's where the jet has its first week period. It does at the very end of the 7-day forecast period begin to consolidate again low off of Japan, about 25 degrees north latitude. But let's get to that later. Just to show you, though, we are in a regime change. We're definitely seeing signs of spring. We knew it couldn't last forever, and this is just one of the signatures right here. So starting in the animation, these fetches that you see right there, those are going to be, supporting us, say, Tuesday, Wednesday. Maybe we'll see some 5 to 6, maybe 7-foot waves. And then this guy way up here by Kamchatka, it intensified as it tracked east. We may see some waves from that Sunday. And right now models are calling for, about 10-foot surf from this guy that probably is being overcalled. Right at the same time, we have a storm march the wrong way, up this way, northeast from Japan. Still models are projecting, a little springtime swell of 3 to 5 feet around the mid-March, the 15th, Tuesday. This guy right over here will pump us up to maybe 10 feet on Sunday the 13th, and I'll have all these at Surf News Network on the calendars for you. So those were the surfaced winds that I was showing you, and now here are the open ocean swells caused by those winds. So here's the big wester that's moved off already, most of the energy off towards California. That's the remnant. We've got a little bit of soft fetch coming down here for Tuesday, Wednesday. It's going to be very small, and we see a little bit trying to come down here as I was showing those fetches earlier. There's the storm here pushing up some seas of 30 feet, but it's going to stay very distant. I don't really think that thing's going to get 10 feet. Right now, that's what Wave Watch 3 is projecting from this guy, sending clearly a nice swell off to California after this weekend. And then there's that little storm that I showed you that came off of Japan. And then, again, they're all getting bumped over that high pressure that's going to be sticking around and doing the blocking. Most of this whole El Nino season, we have not seen a high pressure quite like this. And there's that blue area showing the big high. Taking a look at the jet stream, boys, some deep pockets of 220 knot winds in these large upper air currents that are 30,000 feet up that help the formation of storms and steers them once they're formed. A lot of the energy clearly to our north and then heading off to California. I'll start in the loops, and you can see what happens here as the high pressure moves in. That'll be the big blue blob you see there instead of the nice big purple ones we like. And then late in the forecast period, about 5 days from now, Friday the 11th, we see the jet dropping down real low again and hopefully sending us some waves for the second half of March. But all our expectations have to be lowered, and it'll be a little easy once I show you what's coming up from the south. Alrighty, some hindcasting for the South Pac. There's New Zealand, the Taz Sea, Australia, and take a look at the size of that storm. Now, down under, the low pressures, they go clockwise, opposite direction in the North Pac. Look at the size of that guy. Now, the winds are just gales here, but they're wide enough. This is the first phase, and we'll see a slow rise on Monday with some 20-second forerunners, and I'll show you why as we start in the animations. You can see some deeper colors forming right there. So the winds are ranging up to near hurricane force, and so we'll see some 20-second periods on Monday filling in, and it'll be all filled in at 2 to 4 plus on Tuesday, Wednesday. And this is the culprit right here, our first real south swell of the season. It should last a decent amount of time, and it's a beauty. Starting in the animations, there's the storm for our first, as I said, real swell. And again, we got some nice sized seas in there. There's some seas up to 40 feet. It's not directly targeted towards us, but it has enough of an east-northeasterly flow. But all in all, it's rather zonal. It's big enough, though, and the seas are big enough. We'll see a nice swell. And then this last guy here, this is about, this is for Thursday the 10th. So if you tack on about 6-7 days on that, we're going to have a nice another little south swell. And that should be running our way at 2 feet 15 seconds, maybe Wednesday the 16th / Thursday from this guy. So clearly more storms starting to show down there, and the jet's starting to look a little bit better. It is still off and on, however, as we transition. So again, we're going to take another gander at the jet stream. The North Pack looking much healthier. You can see the southern branch of the jet down under is starting to consolidate. Right now, when it goes west to east, that's what we call zonal. We like them to go meridional with troughs, going up towards the equator. And you can see that it is starting to happen, and we are seeing systems being born within these jet stream troughs, and they are getting steered up our way. There's that big high pressure that I was telling you about that's going to be blocking here for a while and shutting down the more serious swell sources. Okay, we're going to take a look at the hand-drawn surface chart. There's the high getting pushed by all the low pressures further to our east, and the ridge hanging out over the islands, lightening up those trades. We had a little southerly flow and ultralight winds and a diurnal sea breeze pattern here through Tuesday. Again, thanks to that high getting out of here and those low pressures bringing a front. This low right here bringing in, again, our waves for early this week, also bringing in that front that'll be moving down the island chain. It's going to reach Kauai around Tuesday and bring northwesterly winds ahead of it. It's going to be strong. And then thanks to the frontal passage from this guy right here and the new high being born, and moving our way, we're going to have really strong northeasterly trades Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and small craft advisories posted. So we are, as I said, into a regime change. This is the hand-drawn proof. Now let's bounce up to the water vapor loop, showing features about 20,000 feet up. We went from the surface, hand-drawn charts, all the way up, and you can see the dry sinking air, the brown regions showing stable conditions. Intertropical convergence zone not going to affect us. A large easterly sweep there in the upper regions, and we're looking really good. In fact, the front that's moving down, we're not expected to really get a whole lot of rain. Most of the feature is going to be off to our northeast, most of the wetness. However, what's really going to impact us will be the winds, and they will not be great for the country for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday during those mediocre short period northwest swells that are hopefully going to get up to about 6 or 7 feet. Right now you can see that variable flow, and then here comes the front. Anytime you see the clouds get spreckly like that, it means the winds at the surface are pretty high. Drilling down a little bit further, see the non-trade sweep of the lower level clouds. You can also see that we're very, very dry. There's some rain to the southeast of the Big Island, but we're looking good. Some rain will come Tuesday night into Wednesday. Nothing serious. We'll finish up here with final wave animations showing these winds, bringing us our waves for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Also bringing that front. Trades are on the way by the spinning high going clockwise here and tracking east. Down under has plenty of energy coming off of southeast of New Zealand, and we're starting to see all that activity as I was showing you. Highs are going to be about 80. Lows about 69, and then it's going to get cooler midweek with that frontal passage, but we'll survive. That's the local swell tracker. Back next weekend. Thanks for being here.